So good morning to all of you, and again, wishing you a wonderful day. Let's see if we can make some money here, but again, the market they're trying to use the NASDAQ to force the Dow higher because it keeps hovering around this minus 80 to 100, and the riggers don't want it to go lower, but it's now starting to move lower, at least here on the lower here on the NASDAQ. We'll see what happens. Before we get started, now I've already made 2 trades this morning, and I'll just go over those with you real quick. The first trade got stopped out, 83 short out at 95 minus 12. We use a 12-point stop automatically on the number that I call out as our entry, not on the number you got. You may have got a little better than what I got, or a few ticks lower. Don't worry, just concentrate on the exit on the trade. Don't let your emotions get to you. Just relax and follow the exact signals. The second trade was trading the 100 handle up here, and we were looking for a 20-point target. We got them out. Instead of 80, I did the rule we have, which is the surrounder rule by 1 point, because we're scalpers, just to make sure we get our number, and we got them out at 81. So that was 19 points. And I just recently reshorted 47 here when they popped up to, let's see where that was here. That was at 713. So right in here, and look, they forced them up to 714. 713. Anyway, we were looking for them to come down from 47, right in here, down to 40. And you can see it was a very small move, but that's all we were looking for. 47 to just come down here to 40. So we used 41 because we surround all our trades with a 1-point exit. If I say we're looking to get them out at 40, you want to, if you see 41, you want to hit your exit button and get out. So this is all we got here, but that's all I was looking for. And look what happened. They went to our exact number at 40, and they goosed them all the way back up to 62. This is what I'm saying. This is the level of cheating that's going on by the riggers. You have to understand it. No one else can explain it to you. Of course, I did a big research project the other day. Late at night, I was up 5 hours going back. There are no rooms right now that are operating that are worth anything. I mean, there are none. I searched all the keywords, day traders, futures rooms, day trading futures rooms, day trading the U.S. stock index future. There weren't any. There was only 3, and they had these old videos up there, and one guy had these weird charts. I'd never seen his type of charts before, and it was all scrunched up. That's how they cheat. A lot of these people, here it'd be like me scrunching this. I'll show you in a minute, but that's the way they cheat to. And he says, okay, we're short here. You couldn't tell where the price was even going. It's buried by all his stuff on there. Anyway, I'm just making a point. After looking at 50 or more supposed futures trading sites, I only found 3 that actually appeared to be trading, and they were just the most confusing bunch of BS. No track record posted, no mention of anything. We post stuff on our YouTube videos, and we do a lot of different things to help you see what we're doing live, so it really helps you with your trading, following our live signals. And we don't teach you how to trade. We're not going to try to sell you or upsell you to an expensive course. Usually they're about $5,000, which they try to get. They all are doing that. All the other of the 50 or so that I looked at, the 3 I saw that claimed to be trading, which to me, you wouldn't have got anywhere with them. And they wanted $200, $300 a month, and I didn't see any signs that they were trading. I'm just watching this stuff for a while, by the way. Anyway, I wanted to make that point. And of the other ones, they were all just trying to sell education or a course, or some of them were just nuts. They didn't make any sense. So I just want to let you know that. So enough of that. Let's move on here. Let's read the risk disclosure statement. So we're up so far with that last 6-point game. We're up plus 13 points. Now the truth is that's a decent day in and of itself. I'll get into that in a minute. So let's read the risk disclosure. Notice how they stalled the drop, riggers did, and now they're trying to press it back up if they can. The Dow's still down, but they're really trying to push it. They're using NASDAQ. Anyway, risk disclosure statement. Futures trading is risky and only risk capital should be used for trading. Risk capital is defined as money that can be lost, completely lost, without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with a lot of money in the bank. In other words, what the statement says, sufficient risk capital. I say a lot of money in the bank. Only those people with a lot of money in the bank, sufficient risk capital, should consider trading in the day trader's action room or any futures market for that point. But thanks for joining today. Thanks for reading the risk disclosure statement with me. So they're rigging it. So what? That just means, I'm supposed to just get on the buy side. Well, right now I do see the buy side possibly working here. But I was reading the risk disclosure statement, so I was letting it pass. And yep, they're doing as expected. They blocked the selling from getting too severe. Now they did get them all the way down to 30. We shorted, that last trade was a small scalp right here. I showed you that. The first one was up here at, that was our second trade of the day. That was at the 100 handle up here. Way in the heck up here. And I was only looking for 20 points because the way these people were acting, these riggers, look how they let that come down a little bit, and it was like pulling teeth, as they say. No offense to our wonderful dentist members. We do have dentists that are members. But they just wouldn't let it go. And then what do? Launch a Bazooka show and jack it up again. And they're trying to do that right now. See? This is called fraud and cheating. These are not real traders. These are not one-lot mini NASDAQ traders all jumping in at the same time and the market just soaring higher. These are the riggers over at Fraud Rock. So good for them. Let them go ahead and cheat. Whatever. So we're up $6,120 as of the last 4 sessions, or 5 sessions. And starting out this month, very tricky. You can see there's excessive rigging. And look, they're so devious that they jacked this thing from this relatively small drop. I mean, it's about a 70-point drop, all the way back up to where our original trade at 97 was, or the 100 handle right here. And look at this. We have this key line up here, which you may recall I put in here yesterday, which was a high, I think. Let's quickly double check that line. And I remember I thickened it up and made it a dashed dotted line. Let's see if that was what that was. I have to see this. So we're just doing a little backtracking here, and then we'll get into the trading here in a minute. That's right. There it is. You see that? This is where they jacked them up to yesterday, and they started collapsing from there. They tried to get him back up in this. I put this line in yesterday, this magenta line. I think I put this in yesterday. Is now a kind of a resistance point here. And then big hammering again into the close on NASDAQ, but the Dow was just down, or Dow was up 38. Let's get the number right here. The Dow yesterday closed up 38, but the Nas got beaten up. So today, and look at Globex. So they closed the thing down. Look at the riggers on Globex. These are not real traders. This is just the riggers fighting the real traders who are trying to sell off the market. And look at this. This is what I'm saying. This is madness. This is madness. So we're not involved in this. That was Globex. Not to worry. We don't care. And here's the opening range right here, these two white lines and the center line here. So they pressed them down into this gray area with this gray line, which is what we talked about yesterday. And then here they come off the opening, jacking them up off of the, again, big bazooka show, not real, I mean just the riggers. This is how the riggers, they just take a price and jack it up 60, 80 points in 2 minutes, and they expect us to not think they're cheating and doing that on purpose. Well, we can trade it, no problem, but we're not going to ever look to catch a big move like that. That's, the amateurs all fantasize, that's what you're supposed to do, and they lose so much money and they go away, and they, years later they talk about trading, oh, I tried that once, didn't work. So we don't listen to the amateurs. We realize that real trading is much more difficult. I'll get into this again. They're just forcing it up. So I wanted to find out what these magenta line and then this big one up here, this whole zone is really important. So as you can see, that was the high yesterday. And look at them right now. They came in this morning, right after we opened the room, barely missed this line, jacked it up through it. This is where they stopped us out in the first one because they just wouldn't let them go. And that's fine, whatever. Then we caught the 19 points here and the 6 points just on this little tiny move right in here. And the minute they came down to our goal, which was just under 40 or lower, and then we used the 1 point surrender rule at 41, and you can see why, because you never know. But then they hiked them up again, and then ever since we stopped, look at this. What a fraud. Here's the NASDAQ trying to sell off, but their attitude is, no, we need to get the Dow up. So we're going to hyperjack the NASDAQ up, and look at this. I'll start trading in a minute, but I want to show you why it's almost impossible to catch something like this. So you're seeing the down market. Normally they trade back up and then they'll start rolling back lower. They're fighting to block the market from selling off because of Tuesday's minus. They were down over 730 points in the Dow. They closed down minus 626. We're going to get into it in a minute. And look at that. They jacked it up from 60, this 62 area, which was like right in the middle of this congestion here. See where we shorted this and then they hiked it back up here. So this is like a key line right now, right in the midst of this congestion. We're going to mark that, and just to ID it, this is how I put these lines in, is I just, from my experience and everything, I just identify where key areas should, could, would be, and you know, after a while, if the lines get excessive, I clean them up, but a lot of these are months later, they become super vital levels. So we're very aware of that. So let's go ahead and make this a dashed line right here. There, perfect. Now, so what did they do? They got them back above this, back above the core buy center. Look at that, that was at 60. Now that, look at the time, 7:20 and 19 seconds. That's just a few minutes away. So it's from 7:20, just think of that number, 60. All you need is the last 4 digits, but 19,060 at 7:20. Here's 7:25. In 5 minutes, these riggers, these communist riggers, stole, I mean, they jacked it up 60 to 145, almost 100 NASDAQ points in just a few minutes. That's not buyers saying, oh yeah, we're so bullish, buy them, buy them. One lot mini NASDAQ traders, no. I'm just trying to point out to you how sick this is today. And I'm glad we're ahead on our trades and everything, but I think they're gonna go down again. And look at the response. They went up to this thick line, which I had put in I think over 6 weeks ago, and it's turning out to be a great pivot. We added this one yesterday. This was that one I added in yesterday. So they had to force it up back to this one, and now they're faltering. Now, I'm going to get ready for a possible short again, but we got to watch, because I don't want to just get whipsawed around because these people don't want the market to go lower, you know? So I'm watching for it, and we're going to go short probably any time, but I need them to actually make some kind of whipsaw reversal in here and try to get them back up towards maybe 25, somewhere up in here. And then I'll take a chance with it. Now they may just start sinking and going lower, and that's it. Hallelujah, down they go. But you can't catch it when the markets are being this frauded. Don't forget what I just showed you. 80, it was 85 points, 88 points in about 3 to 4 minutes. What kind of crap is that? What a bunch of BS. What right do they have to do that? They think they own the markets. Let's go ahead here. I gotta wait because of the cheating. I don't want to get in trade and get stopped out because they want to jam it up again. And that's what they're doing right now. So hold on a second. It's disgusting, but that's what they're doing. This should be a trade back into buys, but look, they're launching this big, gigantic screwball, what I call bazookas. Let me see what my settings are on here real quick, and then we'll get back into trading. But I'm trying to help you understand this is a fraud market here. I'm doing my best to trade it, but it's not easy flowing from one bias to the other. They're letting them go lower, but then they just doing this insane rigging crap. It's creepy, I think. It's very creepy that they're not letting them sink back into the sell bias. They're trying to block it after all. They spent a lot of money to jam that thing up there. So going short may not be the right idea, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. Let's go ahead and go short here at the market. 22 short. 22 short. Let's see if we can take 22 down to 10. 22 dropping down to 11 or lower. There's 11.
Order
right there.
filled.
Boom. I shorted 22. I said 10. When I said I'm looking for 10, that means when using the 1 point surrounder rule, which we use in every trade, and I don't care where they go now. They probably should go a lot lower, but I don't really care. We shorted 21 is what I'm showing, what I called out. 21 short, and it was fast, like a lightning bolt. But that's the current market situation we're in. And I said, get them out at 10. Therefore, you should automatically think, if I see 11 print, I'm going to click my exit button, because most of our members are scalping using just their buy and sell buttons. And one fellow who I told him, you shouldn't be a member of the room, he was kind of demanding that I use limit orders and everything. I said, what are you, crazy? We have about 60% market orders. Let me finish up in this trade. So we're 21, and then using the 11 surround point rule, 10 was our goal, and they plowed right through that. Actually, I should use 10 in this, because 10 was the original goal. When they dropped through that really hard, which they did, I'm going to use the original target goal. Most of them I use the 1 point surrounder rule, but when they just slam through it, the idea of that 1 point surrounder rule of the price is just to help you understand. We want to make sure, especially if they're like dribbling down towards the 10, you got to use that 1 point rule to make sure we try to get them out, because they might go 10 quarter, 10.50, and then the riggers just scream it back higher. You never know. So that's how we do things to accommodate the market, the current setups here. So 21 to 10 plus 11 points. And that was lightning fast. Lightning fast. That trade, by the way, we shorted it. Let me show you my time in sales. Now just forget this for now, because I think it's going to be a little weird here. I think they're going to try to push them up again, but just let me quickly show you my time in sales. I want to make this point and get it here on record for us. Where is my... Hold on a quick next second here. Okay, well, for some reason it's over here. I want to show you this though, and I want you to realize that that's the nature of the Day Traders Action Room. This is the nature of the markets. It's not that you can demand the markets like this one fellow was demanding all that I use only limit orders. And I said, well, if I say go to the market and we're short at 21, there's your limit order if you want to wait. But a lot of times like that, 10 seconds later, see, this is why I'm just waiting, because they're going to keep trying to juice this thing up. Look at this. I got it all blown up so you can see it real clear. Here's my snap of that. I said 21. We're short at 21. You can see I actually got, when I clicked my buttons, when I go short at the market, click your sell button. Don't hesitate. Don't think about it. Click your sell button and don't worry about it, because we're going to use a 12-point stop and it's going to keep us out of trouble. Don't worry about it. Sell. So I said 21 was our price. Therefore, you place a stop at 21. Here's how you do it. You add 10 in your mind, 21, 31, and 2 more at 32, 34. We use the even numbers. We don't waste time with the quarters, halves, 75s. 21 plus 10, 31, 32, 33. So you move your stop 12 points. That's a quick, fast mental way when you're in the middle of a trade to figure out where the 12-point stop should be. And you drag your bracket down there or just click and put your limit order in there. But use stops. Don't not use stops. I'll try to get out of them a little early sometimes. Some of them you got to just hold to the stop or the fruition of the trade. And I covered at 111. That was just me clicking, doing what I tell you to do, clicking when it hit 11, but it plowed through there so fast, the 10s were hit. Excuse me. So when I do that, when I call for 10, 21, we're looking for 10, the 11's just to make sure you get out in that 1-point region, but they just hammered through it. When they do that, I'm going to use the original target, which is 10. So we're up 11 points on that. But here's what I wanted to show you. That was executed at 7:31 and 50 seconds. This is not a record for us, but look at that, 9 seconds and exiting at 59. 9 seconds. Might have been 8, but definitely the time and sale showing 9. Now, our record, not that it's important, we had a record that held for many years, 4 or 5 years of 6 seconds, but I did on 10-4, which was actually, wow, amazing. 10-4, 1923, or 2023, last year, we had a 5-second trade. Oh, no, it was a long trade, going long at 09, or going long at 7:18 and 9 seconds and out at 14 seconds. 5 seconds. So don't get excited. We didn't have a new record, but you got a chance to see how furious things can go sometimes. It's great if it's on our side. It's a bummer if you get in the trade. And this happened once or twice, I think yesterday. You put the trade on, whoosh, just shoots you right up and knocks out your 12 points. It's very rare, and I can see what I was probably, quote, doing wrong, but it's not a normal market this week. Again, prior to that, we had the Communist Convention, the DNC, all screwball, upside rigging, pushing, forcing it up. And then we come into the new month. I think maybe that was the week before, but the prior week was a good week. Like I said, we're up $6,120, and as of today, this is a nice gain. I'm not pausing for that reason. I'm multitasking, snapping this for you to show you how fast it was, and realize that's going to happen once in a while. Just follow my trades. Don't try to play games and think I'm going to get a better price or this or that. You don't need to run your old tapes in the room here. Just join us, make money with us, and if you want to trade on your own, wait till we're done trading, then you can do that. You see? All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm watching everything here, but there's nothing to do. So don't worry about trading. I'll get into that in a minute, but I have to educate you at the same time we're doing that. So we are up 13 as a trade number 3. Again, I always recap the trades, not at any particular interval, just when I feel it's appropriate. So it's starting to hammer them again. Good for it. And they could plow into this and get them going. I don't trust this market. You need to understand. And this is very important. Remember this always. Here's our room. We come in, and I give some little roadmap or some narration about what the market's doing or the market condition like I did today. I'm going to look to make 20 to maybe 50 points in the first hour and a half. But I'm looking to stop after the first hour and a half of trading, which is 8:30, 11:30 New York. We're not looking to sit here all day. Oh, you only made 40 points or 30. Keep going so you make 50. There's no limit, anything like that. I only trade beyond the regular time if I have a drawdown or I'm just trying to get a couple more points because maybe we had a drawdown and I got it all back, sort of like yesterday. And very tricky. We did do that. I had 3 winners in a row and whatever. We ended up having a slightly up day, but it was hard. And I'm showing you the exact reasons because of these communist riggers. They don't want the market to go down. And when it goes down, they prop it as hard as they can so they keep the narrative intact. If they had another $700 down day today, think of what that says about their communist candidate team they're running here. Tampon Tim and what's her name? Word Salad. Ms. Word Salad. That's bad for the narrative. Anyway, so nothing's gone on while I've been chatting with you. So we're up now plus 11 on this last trade. 13 plus 11, that's 23 plus 24 points. Now, I want to say that maybe we should stop because look, they're dropping the volume down. What they're trying to do, they got it up here a little. They've tried several times to force the Dow up into the green and they failed. Even with this operation here, this disgusting 3 to 5 point move, just under 100 points in 4 minutes. What? See, they don't even care that we see that it's a farce. And all these market makers and stuff you see on CNBC sitting at their desks, and they're never going to say what I say to you. They'd lose their license immediately, be booted out in shame. A lot of them, their father's father was down there at the exchange doing that. They don't want to shame their family by speaking out. But I do, because I'm independent. See what I mean? So right now, what they're going to try to do, the stunt they usually try to pull with this type of deal, is they go in here and they do this. It's called drop and pop. That's my name. I got these cute little nicknames for all this stuff. Riggers, Bazooka Show, stuff like that. Bazooka Candles, launching Bazooka Candles to try to prop the market up. Fast run-ups like this. But I call this drop and pop. This is a game they play. I don't know how they do it. I have my ideas, but drop the market, prop it up, and then pop it. Stop on all these people who tried to go short here, which wasn't us because I saw that that's what they might do. Drop, prop it, pop it back up. Drop and pop, it's called. Look, I'm showing you the proof. Drop, pop, stall, prop it up, and then pop it back up. Now at some point this should collapse, and I think any time, but I'm not going to go short here because I see what they're doing. Right here it should be, I'm just going to run this as a test. 93 to 95 here should be a short. And it may go down 30, 40 points, But the mood these people are in right now, I'll write that down as a test. Don't take the trade. 93 short. Test. Because the mood they're in, yeah, they're going to drop them down, and there it goes. Right where I told you, right at that price. But we have to be careful that it's just not going to end up becoming a larger version of drop and pop. But see that? Drop and pop. And then when they finally, according to what their readings are and what they're seeing, they get all these short sellers out of the way, then they launch another Bazooka show. Well, this one's going to get hit because of several reasons. And I didn't want to take that trade, but you can see I gave you the exact number, 93 short. Some of you riverboat gamblers who've been in my room several years, God bless you and thank you so much. You may have taken the trade because you know me, and you're willing to take the risk on the 12 points for that, and you did good. 93 just came down to, oh, look at that. Oh, I expected this, 42. 40 points or more. I expected this, but I don't care. They were doing the drop and pop, and normally when they do that, they just launch them back up again. But I said it looks like they're going to get, this one's going to get hammered. 93 short I gave you, and yeah, they hit them. Anyway, doesn't matter. There'll be hundreds of these type of deals that I'll get in. As you're a member, when you stay a member and you're around 3, 6 months, a year, that's what I expect you to do. If you join the room, stay in there. We're just like a utility. You got electrical bill at your house. You have to, or your apartment or your home. You don't go on vacation. Well, I'm going to turn off the electricity for 3 weeks while I'm on this vacation. It's ridiculous. You need the juice to keep your house running, keep the fridge going and all that. We're like a utility bill, a day trader's action room. If you're a real trader, you're going to need income. Keep the service running. It's cheap. $149. I haven't raised my price ever. Since inception, that's been the price. $149, while the others are all trying to gouge you for $250, $350, some $500, and they're not as good as our room. Oh, I'm kind of regretting that they're getting hammered here, but not really. I don't feel that. I could have shorted them, but I really didn't care because I saw the drop and pop, and I wasn't willing to be part of their drop and pop scam, which normally they would have caught this and shot it straight back up. But obviously the rigger's in trouble here. They're experiencing sour grapes like anything. Look at that. Down 148. Like I said, September is going to be a tricky month. October. Next couple months here up until November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. For those of you who've seen that amazing movie some years ago. Remember the 5th of November. Bill, do you remember that movie? Mark, I don't know if you remember that. The guy who wore the mask. How coincidental is that? And here comes our first level of the election on November 5th. Will we be able to take over the riggers and clean up the swamp and do all that? See, D.C. was built on a swamp. Way back when, Washington, D.C., which is still not one of the United States. It's its own world. It's its own country. It's not a part of the United States, technically, just like the Federal Reserve. So way back when they formed the Federal Reserve, they built all this stuff. They built D.C. on a swamp. So the term originally was used by President Trump, drain the swamp, because it just got infested with too many people who hate America and just figure America's they get in some kind of power position in the government or the Senate or the whatever, and they just figure they can make all these shady deals and make all this money, and it's all about them and buying their third mansion and their fifth Lamborghini, and it's disgusting, People who make it honestly, like Eddie Van Halen, that great rock band Van Halen, he had a bunch of Lamborghinis, but he played incredible guitar, sold a lot of LPs, toured around the world many times, worked his butt off, wrote great songs. So he can get those. But people who just cheat and steal like these riggers, they shouldn't get Lamborghinis. Why should they? They should be in jail. Run an honest job, like we're trying to do here. And I know it's going lower, and I kind of mentioned they should sink lower. Anyway, now they're really getting roughed up. They're in the danger zone. And they've lost what is called, this is the institutional bias line. You notice how holding above that, the market's going to tend to bounce and rally. But when it gets below it, that's where the market starts having to be put on oxygen. It starts breaking lower. So one of the goals of the riggers is to always get it jacked up over this institutional bias line. This is my own line. I invented this for our room. I used the VWAP for many, many years. You've heard of that, VWAP, VWAP. And many institutions still rely on that. I used it for over a decade in the room, and I just said, I just don't see it. This was about 6-8 months ago that I recall. I said, I'm going to invent something better. And boy, without any adjustments, I came out with this after a couple of days of research and work, and it's been the best thing we've used. So I still continue to call it the institutional bias line, which is what I used to call the VWAP, but now we just use this. It's beautiful. Anyway, so every day in the Day Traders Action Room, you'll learn more things about what's going on. Do I feel any regret about not taking that test trade? No, that's for amateurs. I don't feel any regret. I ran it as a test because they were doing the drop and pop, which I explained to you. Nobody else in the industry, even except the riggers who are doing it, they don't know. The other traders, they have no idea why. They could say it's choppy. Well, sure, it's choppy, but it's really a contrived operation. Look at this one. Drop, prop it up, and pop it up. So I just go, well, it's drop, prop, and pop. Drop, prop up that low, and then pop it up and stop out that group of sellers. It's a way of wearing down the sellers. Well, this is going to happen once in a while. If they can't get the sellers out of the way, which, by the way, they did that here. They sufficiently got right in here. Drop, prop, rig, and then at a certain point, they just said, give it the gas, pedal to the metal. These riggers, human beings, make these decisions. Don't be fooled into thinking, oh, algorithms are running on. No, they're not. Human beings make decisions who build the algorithms and program the algorithms and override them when necessary. This isn't all algorithmic or AI crap. Artificial intelligence divine, which is what NVIDIA spelled backwards says. What a bunch of cultists. Anyway, these are human beings making these decisions to gas that thing through this line, which we drew in yesterday, and up to this thick line exactly. Why would they stall exactly at my line that I put in over 6 weeks ago up here? That's just the nature of the beast. Anyway, they're still trying to sink lower, and frankly, I don't regret this at all. I would have scalped for probably 20 points, maybe 30. And it went from my test level was 93 here. And so far the low is 89, went down 100 points. Basically, now this is interesting. These criminals rigged this thing up 100 points within 5 minutes, 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. Straight up, no pullbacks. This is virtually the same, just collapsing, but this is not the riggers. This is just the pent-up angst of the sellers and a bearish market and September. So yeah, this went under this magenta line, collapsed under that, and then when it collapsed, we just put this one in yesterday, and I just put this one in today. And then when they collapsed under this line, then collapsed under this one, notice how they tried to hover above it, which was just slightly above the institutional bias line. Once they lost that, that's where all this came from. It's not from riggers, it's just it lost the institutional bias line level that I developed about 6 months ago for our room. It's exclusive to the Day Traders Action Room. And I won't tell you what it is, so don't ask. Hey, you want to have an edge on things, you got to keep secrets in the industry. We don't teach you how to trade. I don't teach you my methods, but you can take the trades and make a lot of money, which I'm going to give you that total right now in a minute. So give me a quick second here. We're up on 4 trades. We had 1 stop out, which is the first trade, and 3 winners after that, plus 19, plus 6, plus 11. That's 24 points. 24 times $20. That's a 480 per contract deal. We just multiply it by 20, which is what the NQ trades at per point. 4 trades, which is nice low trade count, which is always pleasant, if it can be done. We use $5 all in to measure the estimated commission you'll pay, not to me, of course, to your broker, to your brokerage firm. So I'm trying to get a price that'll be very close to your statement, and it's always, always, always based on 4 contracts. We've done that since inception. Our room was designed to help you gain confidence in my trades and then build up to 4 contracts. So 480 minus 20 is 460. You see that? Do you understand what I just did there? Learning a lot today while we're making a ton of money. 460 times 4. So we got an $1,840 day today so far. So in that sense, it was almost like an ideal day. Just a few trades, a big paycheck of $1,840. A picture going to your bank, you'd have to go to the teller to do this and say, I want $1,840 in 20s. I'm just getting that out. And she says, oh, okay, sir. Looks at your account and says, oh, yeah, you got 20 grand in there, no problem. And she says, well, they put them on those machines. You know, the machine. Okay, here you go. Did you want that in an envelope? You say, yeah, put it in an envelope. She puts it in an envelope. And that, I'm just guessing, that's probably about a 3-inch thick wad. You couldn't even put it in your pants, in your back pocket or anything. If you wrapped a rubber band around it, you could stick it in a sport jacket. So, but picture walking around your local grocery store. You got to go out and get some groceries for the pad today. Get ready for, you're just running low on some things. You go walking around the grocery and you've got this wad of $1,840 in your pocket. And you're just walking around, and last month in the Day Traders Action Room, we made over $21,000. So I'm not going to even talk about what that wad of 20s would look like, but just for today, you got this wad of $1,840 in 20s, and you're walking around the grocery. You're not conceited, you're not like overly exuberant. You're just calm and going, okay, I need some of those. There's some lettuce there, I need some broccoli. Go here, let me get this juice here, and let me get these walnuts, and I want some almonds. You know, whatever your shopping habits are. You go over to this area and let me get these nice refried beans. I don't know, whatever you like. Point is, you're walking around there and there's this mood of, wow, I just made $1,840 today. On top of last month's 21,000, here's the exact number here. Where'd it go? $21,045. That was the exact figure. Doing just what I did today. just stacking them all up. And I know they're going lower, and I don't care, and I'm not so interested in trading. Why? Because we hit 24 points relatively smoothly, relatively easy. I got to give you a good education today on a lot of things, especially about trading in the room, with the expectation that you'll see. And what I told you too about how my research, I've been saying it for years, that there's no one else doing what I do. I knew that, but I said I said this last year, and I said most of the trading room's been blown out of the circuit because of 2023 and the volatility and the hyper high. That's when it started, that hyperbolic speed crap. They still do that once in a while. Yesterday I had to wait an hour for that crap to slow down so that we could trade. You understand that? Yesterday I had to wait from the open of the room all the way to 8 o'clock, 1 hour, just waiting for that stupid high-speed volume to slow down. And it finally did. We don't fall victims to all that hype. There's no need to. So anyway, the point is, this is what we do every day. And like right now, I'm very inclined to just stop trading for the day. And you may be thinking, oh, what do you mean? Keep going. No, listen to me, Mr. Amateur. That's not what we do. We go in and we look to make a nice paycheck. I gave you the test here. I would have scalped maybe 20 points, maybe 19 with a surround the rule thing. Maybe I would have held them, but it doesn't matter. This isn't something you could have acquired. Your amateur dreamer side of you might be thinking, oh no, we should have sold them and then just held. Come on. That's what amateurs all think, and no, you're not going to get this, the whole thing. If I had made that a regular trade, which some might think you would have, could have, should have, oh, why didn't you? Just relax. If you're in my room, we have days like this every day, practically. I'll read some back to you later. I did that yesterday a little bit. You're not going to catch this. So we did very, very good today. Now, when you're walking around in that grocery in your mind with that wad of $1,840 in your pocket, I want you to hold that vision all day and wherever you go. Now, if it's really hot out, like today's a really hot day here, so I'm not going to be wearing a sport jacket today. But keep the idea in your mind, the hypothetical idea in your mind of walking around with that kind of cash in your pocket and how good it feels. And that's on top of making $21,045 last month. You see what I mean? And that's the Day Traders Action room for you. So I encourage you to become a long-term member and come in here and just trade with us and listen to my market analysis, and we're going to do our best to make money. And I appreciate it if you can do that. Just treat it like an electric utility bill. You don't go on vacation for 3 weeks and shut off your electricity bill. And if you do that, and well, I'm going on vacation, so I want to cancel now, and then I'm going to just slide back later and join again. No. I may not let you. I want you to keep your account open and perpetually trade and let me work with you, and you work with me. It's a privilege you get to work with me, and me a privilege to work with you to make $200,000 a year. I'm not trying to sell you on something. Why would I have to sell you on making $200,000 a year working from home for a few hours in the morning? Who cares? You see what I mean? So this is what I'm looking for. These are the kind of members I'm looking for. Stay with us for the long term. Make the money here. I'm not going to live forever, you know. Make the money while the money making's good. And even though the markets are really weird, you're still making a tremendous amount of money, you see? So that's my good advice, friendly advice. What you're doing in the room. Snap out of the idea that I'm trying to sell you something. I'm not. If you can't trade and you don't have an open futures account and you're not an experienced trader, you're not welcome to join our room anyway. If you have anyway, well, you blew it, because now, you know, you're going to play games. You already started. But if you are an experienced futures trader, which I know most of you are honest and that's what you do, then that's excellent. Partner up with me, but keep the big picture goal, not one day and one trade. Oh, we should have shorted that. Get off of the one trade, desperate, in the moment, woulda, coulda, shoulda crap, and get into real trading with me. Just realize I'm going to work hard every day and do the best I can. So that's my message to you. Partner up with me with the goal. Keep the goal in mind every day that we trade, no matter how difficult the day is or how great it is. The idea is to make $150,000 to $200,000 a year on a small account. 4 contracts is a minuscule account. Using $4,000 margin, nice cushy margin on your account. So you got that $16,000 working capital. Keep that intact and turn it into $150,000 to $200,000 a year. So that's my message to you.